First Deputy Leader of the Saint Lucia Labor Party, Ernest Hilaire, is warning against an inconsistent application of the COVID-19 protocols. The Alan Chasney administration has revised the curfew times to dissuade socializing to reduce the spread of the coronavirus during the Easter holiday weekend. But while the opposition urges strict adherence to the public health measures and protocols, Hilaire argues the rules, regulations and laws must apply to everyone universally.
Already we have situations where some can play golf when they really ought not to, but our footballers cannot practice for World Cup qualifiers. We really believe there should be one Saint Lucia. There are bars we know in this country that are open beyond the stipulated times, and yet we also know that other people with the rum shops are being arrested and charged. They should not be open. We condemn them being open beyond the stipulated times. But what happened to the others? We cannot have a tale of two Saint Lucias. And we are hearing that the same weekend that times have been adjusted, that there is ongoing political activity by a particular candidate. And we're wondering, and we're seeing the flyers, and we're saying, well, how can you have a fun walk with hundreds of people, and at the same time, we cannot have a spot meeting from the back of a van, speaking to people in their homes?
The Castries South MP contends that the perceived lack of coherence on the implementation of policy undercuts both the adherence and enforcement efforts.
There is right now two Saint Lucias. Some people have their passes and they can gather, and no one will stop them, and they have birthday parties in certain parts of Saint Lucia celebrating, and it goes on. But others cannot do it. And when people respond and react, they are called the worst names.
Hilaire insists that the opposition was not consulted on the adjustment of the time frame of the curfew. Recently, various online platforms have been blanketed with video and images of large hordes of people at beaches and recreational venues flouting the prescribed physical distancing protocols. In some instances, some people are not even wearing masks. However, the Castries South MP asserts that measures need not be draconian in order to achieve compliance and effective results.
If the problem is the beaches, then shut down the beaches for the weekend. If the problem is people having river lines, ban river lines. But should you deny me going to my mother's house on Easter Sunday? Or if I go to a house, I have to leave before 3 o'clock because the curfew starts at 3 o'clock. But why can't my family gather for our usual Easter gathering on Sunday or Monday? If the problem is the beaches, then say that no access to the beaches for the weekend. We only allow in family gatherings of no more than 10 or 15 people. Say that. And for me, you have to be sensible in what you do. You have to be proactive, you have to be targeted, but you must also be sensible. So stop all river lines, stop all gatherings on the beaches. Encourage people to have family gatherings instead, small family gatherings. It's a weekend of reflection. Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. We're going to reflect on it. We're going to ask for forgiveness for our sins. We can do so as families. We can do so in churches. Limit the gatherings if you want for family gatherings. But you cannot restrict persons to 3 o'clock on Easter Sunday and Easter Monday.
The first Deputy Leader of the Saint Lucia Labor Party again underscored the Labour Party's call to the public not to overlook the threat posed by the pandemic. But he insists that the seeming double standard in the application of protocols is not engendering much needed social solidarity in the fight against the pandemic. Joachim Du Plessis, HTS News Force.